Hey, 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 welcome in, welcome in.
Hello.
Hi, Senna, how are you? Hi, Heatherly. Thank you for being here. So, real quick, Gwen and Robin, can you see the chat? Because they will speak to you as well.
I just see welcome in. That's what I is that what you're yes.
Nope, you should see the subscribers.
Uh
Gwen, are you able to see them?
I'm
No, I
not.
don't.
I don't see the
If you click on the side of StreamYard, it should be on your right hand side. There's three
okay.
boxes. If you click the middle box, it should bring up the chat if you're on your phone.
Please come on in, hit
You said to hit
share.
it where it says StreamYard.
There's like three little squares on the side of the phone. Should be on the side of the app there.
Right here.
Okay,
Come
I
on
got us
in.
up on YouTube now.
We're about to talk about menopause and all the lovely things that come along with it.
Okay, well, I'll give you ladies a few minutes to try to navigate that on on your phones. Good evening, as everyone is coming in. So, is
Hi,
this
Donna.
part two or
Hi,
part three?
baby. How are you?
I think this is
Welcome.
our third installment, is it not?
This is our second.
Is our
Our
second?
second time talking
Okay.
about menopause.
All right. So this is our second go round, our second discussion on menopause, and we have two lovely ladies with us today. One is a returning guest. Uh oh.
She'll
Looks
come
like
back.
we've lost someone. Robin, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm still here. Well, hello there. My name is Robin Nichols. I live in Battle Creek, Michigan. I am employed at the Heart Door Anyway Federal Center. I'm also a member of First Salem Missionary Baptist Church. I have two daughters, and I'm the grandmother of four. I have three granddaughters and one grandson,
Aw. Well, thank you so much for
and they're all
joining us.
teenagers. All of my grandchildren are teenagers.
Ooh, that's a fun age.
Yeah, they range from 13 to 19.
Okay, so you got some just turning teens and some heading into adulthood, getting out of the teens.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So as we wait for Gwen to come back, we'll just kind of get into it. Hi, Senna. So we kind of want to start the conversation out on the emotional weight of aging. Do you feel like there's an emotional weight when it comes to getting older and going through menopause? What has your experience been?
So there, I was thinking about that earlier, and there is an emotional weight to menopause and with aging. I think that our bodies respond differently the older that we get, and I noticed myself, going through menopause, and I went through menopause at a young age because I had had some surgery, which I'll get into a little bit later. But a lot of the things that happened with me, it took an emotional toll on me from weight gain. Then I had weight loss. I had different aches and pains, memory issues. I started thinking about retirement, future plans, how's that going to look. Also having like different mood swings, and the list just went on and on. So um, it did take a toll on me a little bit. I found myself at one point where I would, cry a lot, just thinking about things. What was my future going to be like? How was my body going to respond? What is I going to get my weight off? Just different things. And it was mainly the unknown things that I had problems with handling. As women, we are already emotional beings. But aging adds another level of emotion, in my opinion. I know it did for me. And this is especially true for single aging women. I believe it's a little bit different when women are married or in relationships. But for single women, especially when you're, more by yourself, it does add a little bit different emotional weight when you're aging.
I agree with that 100%. I don't think that is talked about enough. I don't think that we're really prepared. You know, I'm 46, and we discussed on the the first episode, how going through HRT, hormone replacement therapy, and I've been dealing with it for a while, and there wasn't much conversation within the women in my family or with the doctor. You had that initial conversation of, okay, this is what, your menstrual cycle looks like, but no one really prepares you for the wide range of symptoms and the ups and downs that, you experience during menopause. So, and I think it definitely plays a part in marriage, and whether or not you have someone who you're in close contact with on a regular basis, because they're going to be experiencing those ups and downs with you. So I think that's very important to highlight. um
Oh,
let's
absolutely.
see.
I agree 100%.
um and one of the questions here is it necessary to educate the next generation on the transition? I think it absolutely is necessary. Hi, Gwen. Welcome back.
You brought Gwen's there. Hi,
Okay,
Gwen.
here I am. Hi, I'm sorry I had some technical difficulties.
Oh, so let's see. We have a question in the chat. I will grab some of those symptoms for you. There are, I think we talked, maybe there's about over 100 different symptoms when it comes to menopause. But the main culprits are hot flashes, weight gain. Uh, some women experience, excessive facial hair. Um, you'll stop having your menstrual cycle. There can be different moods. On the first podcast, some women said that they were extremely emotional, while some are on the other end. Well, they're like, keep anybody can get it. So there's a wide range of symptoms. Trouble sleeping, a lot of insomnia. There can be, anxiety, depression.
Right,
Those are just some of the main symptoms that I would
right.
say majority of women experience.
There are
But
some symptoms too that you wouldn't even think that it was menopause, like heart
mhm,
palpitations. You would think it's something wrong with your heart, but really it's signs and symptoms of menopause. So there is a lot of symptoms that mask themselves
mhm,
as something else when it's just menopause, like depression and, like I said, heart palpitations, high cholesterol. All of these are symptoms of menopause.
yeah, like you said, things that you would think that could easily be, misconstrued for something else.
Yep.
Dry skin, acne. And I mean, that's just one thing that you think, okay, I'm well out of my teenage years. I shouldn't be experiencing acne.
Right.
But that's one of those things that can pop back up. So Senna's asking, did anyone experience weight gain early on? And if so, how much?
Yes. So.
And actually, I didn't experience weight
Mhm.
gain right away. But I think for me, because I went through menopause so young, I
Mm.
actually had to have a hysterectomy at 24.
Mhm.
Okay.
And so it was, menopause for me was very stressful. I had two young children. I was married to their father at the time. and it really brought about a lot of issues.
Mhm.
The weight gain wasn't really a big thing at the time, but my body just took a total change because at 24, my body wasn't really ready for menopause. And I mean, I wore patches, I took pills, they even tried to give me a shot. Everything the doctor tried, nothing helped. I think my biggest thing was my body just not really responding to a lot of that. And so then my biggest thing is it affected my intimacy, which then created really big problems, between me and my now ex-husband. And it also created problems, for my children because I had all kinds of mood swings. My mood swings were so bad because I just didn't understand what was happening with my body. I was like, I felt like I was going through withdrawals half the time. Um, and like I said, I was married at the time, so it really was creating a lot of problems. I just felt like I was in a real dark place. I went to a really dark place at age 24 going through menopause. Weight gain came later because I went through menopause more than once. Having had a hysterectomy, I've gone through it probably 3 times. There are times where I think my body's trying to go through it again. Now being in my 60s, but I'm kind of managing it a little bit better. But I'll touch on that a little bit later on how I'm trying to manage some of that.
I see this young lady. She says she's practically falling asleep while driving. I went through that same experience. I didn't have any energy. I was tired. I was only sleeping like 1 hour a night. But once I started HRT, which I take estrogen patches, progesterone, 200 milligrams, and testosterone. And once I started all of those things, I was able to sleep at night. That problem went away. But yes, that is one of the symptoms. You're very fatigued.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And I had a lot of that problem.
Mhm.
I got to the point to where, because I used to love to work out.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't work out. Getting up and going to work
Mhm.
became a challenge because I was always so tired. And then at the time, like I said, I had younger children too. So I'm trying to
Mhm.
do their school activities. I'm trying to work. I was trying to be a mother and a wife. And it just, yeah, it created a lot of issues. I was so tired. My sleep pattern was, I didn't really have a sleep pattern. I just caught sleep
Mhm.
whenever I could. I got to the
Right.
point to
Mhm.
where at work I was taking power naps because
Mm-hmm.
I just could
Mm-hmm.
not sleep at night.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. A
Yes.
15, a 30, wherever I
Yes.
can catch one.
Right.
For me it got so bad, like she said, while driving, while I was like you said earlier, I thought I was going to have to quit my job, right? Because I didn't know what was going on. All I know, I was tired and going nuts. Mine was very mental. I had a lot of I would cry at the drop of a dime, and I felt like I was going crazy. I was going, and so I think I started in my 40s. I'm 55 now, but they gave me Paxil for the depression when they should have given me, the estrogen to balance off my uh, hormones, because once that was balanced, the depression was gone, right? So Paxil made me crazy. So a lot of times you have to, when you go see your OBGYN or your family doctor, you really have to go in there prepared, because they'll try to give you all kind of other, and that's a different conversation right there. But they'll try to give you all kind of other things because of the symptoms that you have, which it's not curing the symptoms, because it's not, I'm depressed, it's not mental like that, you know what I mean? It's my hormones
Exactly.
are off balance.
I see we have a couple questions in the chat. Senna, are you asking if there are any natural remedies that help? I'm reading it says symptoms. I just want to clarify before we try to answer.
Okay.
Can you read that question again?
It says, let me go back. It says any natural symptoms help.
Oh, natural,
I think maybe I'm waiting for
Or
her.
like
Yeah, she
remedy,
means natural
natural remedies.
supplements. Yep. 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 So she
It was none
put it
for
in there.
me. Like I tried natural. I tried wild yams cream. I tried black cohosh. I
Mm-hmm.
tried all those things, and it just. And I'm not saying this is for everybody, but
Mm-hmm.
it just didn't work out for me. The only
Yeah.
thing that maybe remotely close worked for me was the what do you call that? Is the THC oil that helped relax me, but it still wasn't a cure. You know, it still
Mm-hmm.
didn't balance my hormones. So once I started HRT, I probably would be on that probably forever because it has helped me and my life has changed. I'm back to who I am, and you know, some natural remedies do help, and they do also have options if you don't want hormones, but they do have all type of things that might work
Mm-hmm.
for you. You just have to do your research and see
Yeah.
what's right for you.
Now the black cohosh, I
Hmm.
feel like it did help.
Oh,
I was
okay.
kind of off and on, but I did
Hmm.
notice a decrease in the hot flashes. Um,
Okay.
when I did take it, it would just be kind of, I'd call it a flare.
Oh,
It's more
okay.
so like someone took a lighter and just kind of
Mm.
whipped it past me real quick versus feeling like somebody was holding a blowtorch under my face. You
Right,
know.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, I never tried. I didn't really try anything natural. I worked more like on my diet, trying to do more like clean
Yes.
eating and putting some exercise in with it.
Hmm.
Um,
Mhm.
Hmm.
but I never really tried anything natural. As I said, the doctor had put me on the pills at one point. I
Hmm.
was wearing estrogen patches. I was taking a shot. But I haven't had to do any of that since I was in my 30s. And I
Okay.
was really happy that I didn't have to keep doing those because as I got older and started reading more stuff about it, they really were not. I'm not telling anybody not to do them, but they're really not
Hmm.
that good for you. Um, Problems with your bones and various different things, and just some of the reasons I was to control. I was eating dairy. I don't do a lot of dairy and things like that anymore, and it seems to
Hmm.
be pretty good for me.
Hmm.
Yeah. Definitely cutting out dairy and things like that. Even trying like an anti-inflammatory type diet. I've done that for a little bit, and I feel like it did kind of help ease some of those symptoms of, like the excessive bloating
Hmm.
and all those type of things. It just kind of it gives you a little bit more energy too.
Hmm.
Jacqueline says, I've never had hot
Yeah,
flashes. And she didn't recognize any other symptoms, but maybe that's
Hmm.
because she wasn't educated. So
Right.
hopefully, with these two episodes, you'll gain a
Hmm.
little bit more knowledge.
So, and see, my approach with my diet is different. I'm truly a carnivore girl here. I eat red meat, butter, and eggs. That's what I eat, and I work out. I work out 5 days a week. So and since I've been on HRT, I just encourage that you do your research because I'm
Mhm.
telling you, the life that I had before HRT and before taking it, I didn't have a life. I really
For
didn't. I thought
real.
I was life was over, but I
Yeah.
feel it was a game changer for me. It was a game changer. I
Mm-hmm.
feel great. I did my research and I have a wonderful OBGYN that keeps track of my blood work. Now it's a trial and error. And so I had to change my dosages a couple of times. I had to tweak it, so that it could be, what it needs to be for me. And so like I said, I love my OBGYN because and it's a male, he makes sure that my levels are correct and all of those things. But being on testosterone has been one of the most amazing things for me. It helps with my adrenal glands, my energy, my sexual drive, all of that.
Can if you're not on mic, if you could put your um If you're not speaking, put your mic on mute because I'm hearing like background.
Hmm. Okay, is there someone else that's joining us, Wanda? Keep seeing a box pop up, but I don't see
No,
a face or a name.
it's probably me trying to figure it out.
Oh, okay. So we have another question in the chat from Senna. She's asking, did your libido drop?
Yes, mine did until I got on the testosterone, and it came back to where it need to be.
For me, yeah, that that was
I know
not
one of the
a
things
good
that
issue.
really too is with menopause as well is vaginal dryness. I know that was a real big issue. Um, Things that really, it made me not want to even be, because it was just too much. It was just too much. And it seemed like nothing helped. Didn't matter what it was, nothing helped.
Did your doctor, did they give you the estrogen cream? Because I take the patches, the cream, and the testosterone. And sometimes the
I never
cream is
had the
just,
cream.
yes, it's just like 1%. And I do it twice a week, and it helps keep it moist down there.
Yeah, I never had the cream. I did have the, like I said, the patches and everything. There was a time, when we had talked about other things that we could look at trying and everything, but I guess, well, once I got divorced, it didn't matter.
When you mentioned something a little while back, you mentioned like, did you felt like your life was over? And I didn't necessarily feel like my life was over,
Uh,
but I did have a feeling of I cannot continue like this. Something
right.
has got to give.
Yes. Yes.
So, how can we redesign, I guess what you would call the almost a midlife crisis?
Well, I think first and foremost, you have to do some research, and that's what I did. And I'm gonna tell you,
Mm-hmm.
when I started HRT, it only took 6 days to get me back to where I needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right? 6 days,
Yep.
because I was lacking estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Now, you take the progesterone if you still have your uterus. You don't have to take it if you can just do the estrogen patches, or however you choose which method that you want to use. But after those things, I mean, like, life for me has been good. Like, I have no complaints. I had to tweak my dosages, a couple of times. But once I got on it, child, like, I'm on the go. I, you know, I like hiking. I like doing it all. So that 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 was a game changer for me. Now I feel like I can just live the rest of my life, my best life.
Yeah. Yeah. Within 48 hours, I noticed the
Mhm.
difference. I was like,
Uh
oh
huh.
yeah, here we go. I was telling everybody, even if they didn't ask, how are you? I'm great. You want to know why? Because I started HRT. What's that? Let me tell you about it, just in case you need to know. So yes, it's been wonderful. Okay, Senna says she's gonna research HRT, and it sounds
Yes.
interesting.
Yes. Do your research. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how I was having a hot flash one night, and up at 2 o'clock in the morning, couldn't sleep. That's how I fell on HRT. You know what I mean? I was listening to
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Mary Claire Hever, and I'm so thankful for her, because she gave you a step-by-step guide that you can take to the doctor, the blood work that you need to take. And so she was talking about the symptoms, and I said, that's me, because I prayed too. I believe in God. So I prayed to God. I said, I can't go on. You know what I mean? It hit me so hard. But as soon as I started my treatment, I got back to myself. I was able to, like, do my diet and exercise and have the energy I need to have to do those things, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
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 Yeah, I never had to do HRT. My blood levels and everything, when I go for my physical checkups, have been good and everything. But one thing that I did notice, is when I did feel like my body was kind of trying acting like it was trying to go back into menopause again. Again, I went back to clean eating. I try to make sure I walk a couple of times a day. Trying to get
Yeah.
back into doing more physical activity. And it
Hmm.
seems like that has been helping a lot. But
Hmm.
I've never had to do HRT. I will keep that in mind. I'm
Hmm.
gonna have to research it
Do
because
it,
I
girl.
mean I don't know half the time what my body's gonna do. I mean
Hmm.
I really
Hmm.
don't. And I
Yeah, I
think part of
love
it
it.
is
I have
because
no regrets, none.
right.
Um,
I think Gwen froze.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Gwen froze.
oh, here I am. Am I?
There you
Oh,
Can
are.
you
you?
back? Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I have no regrets of trying HRT. And I know people, you really have to do your research because I know, it's
Mhm.
side effects to everything that you do. When you walk out you
Right.
know, outside, breathing the air, buying the food at the grocery store, there are a lot of side effects. But I just want people to know, do your and I know HRT has gotten a bad rep, but I'm telling you, it beats not suffering, right? And I feel like a lot of us suffer.
Right.
And
Yeah.
being African American too, they don't tell you these things, right? The conversation with mental health problems, with all these different symptoms.
Yeah. A lot of it, they'll just attribute it to, oh,
And
it's
it
just
should
some
be a
anxiety.
choose whether or not if you want to go. Right. Let me give you something else for that. Or
Mm-hmm.
if I turned 40, I had high blood pressure. No one could tell me why, but it's genetics. And when I got on HRT, get up, and I look at the women in my family, same thing. A simple fix, a little bit of hormone therapy, they probably would have still been here because I'm telling you, those symptoms
Yeah.
will cause some will cause death, right? So
Mhm.
just a simple fix. And I don't believe in pharmaceutical, but I do believe in science, right? So please, guys, go and you do not have to suffer. You don't have to. It's such a fear about taking HRT. It's such a fear. And I hate that for us. I hate that because you can get relief, and I'm not saying it's not for everybody, but it is for some. You know what I mean?
Now, Gwen, let me ask a question. Does your insurance
Hmm.
cover HRT? Do most insurances cover it?
Okay.
I think that would be a pushback with some
Yes.
people.
Yeah. Mine
Yes,
covers.
yes. Mine's cover my estrogen patches and progesterone. It does not cover testosterone. Now,
Okay.
if I was a woman trying to be a man, it would cover. So they're trying to work on that right now as we speak to get it
Mm.
FDA approved because testosterone
Yeah.
is not FDA approved. But
Okay.
Right.
we as women, we do have levels of that we need testosterone. Now, when I got mine tested, I didn't have anything. That's why I was so fatigued, right?
Oh,
I was so tired because my levels of testosterone, I had zero.
wow.
So I had to go also to a compounding pharmacy to get that. And I pay out of pocket for that. And for a 90-day supply, I pay $150. I just get the money to pay it because I need it. But
Mhm.
right now, it's like I said, as we speak, they are trying to overturn that because we need it, right? We need it.
Right.
Right. Right.
Well, that's
Yeah.
Not
good
a
to know
lot.
that insurance does cover it because I know that would probably be, some pushback for people, especially if they don't have, the money to be able to pay for, some of the like the estrogen and stuff like that.
So I'm gonna tell you this too. If you don't have insurance, GoodRx is really good for that. So there are ways that you can get it. Now for a 90-day supply of the patches for me, I pay about $30 for 90 days. So it's
Wow.
not expensive, if you got insurance. And if you don't, you can go through GoodRx and you can get that same kind of price. Go through GoodRx if you don't have insurance. So there are
Hmm.
ways out there for you to have relief from your menopause symptoms.
That's really good information.
That is good information.
Mhm.
That is
Mhm.
wonderful info. Good RX. I think I've seen
Good
that on
RX,
television.
baby. I've used that before. If you don't have insurance at the time, you can go through the Good RX and they will it'd be a very discounted, it'd be something you can afford. It'll probably be like $50 a month or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've
Mm-hmm.
But
used Good
yes, you
RX before, even
can
with my.
get that and they
I've
won't
used
tell
Good
you that.
RX even with my
That's a
insurance.
I feel like that's another, yeah, that's another conversation that needs to be had, is that when a African American or brown people, we go to the doctor, they don't give you all this information. They'll allow you to suffer, right? And
Right,
so I feel like it's not fair, for us. So that's why I love this kind of grouping thing, so that we can share information so people can have, some relief. You don't have to live like that.
right.
Right.
And Brandy, I think
I'm
you
very
said something.
passionate
Either,
about that
either
because
I can't remember if it was you or Gwen that said it earlier. Talking about the mental health. The mental health side effects to
me.
menopause.
Mhm.
Are
Mhm.
really serious.
Yes.
I remember finding
They
myself.
are.
I went into a real dark place. I mean, I was like really depressed because I
Me
felt
too. I had a
less
whole
than a woman.
breakdown, boo.
I mean, there were a lot of things that I was
I
feeling.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, my mother, they was like taboo. It's like we didn't talk about stuff like that. It was like even
They
with
probably didn't
when you
know.
started your
They
monthly
probably didn't
cycle.
know.
Right. And that's what I was gonna say. They didn't know because their,
Mhm.
parents didn't talk about it. So
Right.
then our parents didn't talk about it. So I made it a goal that when my girls were younger, and even with my granddaughters, making sure I talked to them about that stuff. I mean,
Right.
they even know that I had a hysterectomy and some of the things that I went through with having that.
Mhm.
But depression was really real.
Oh
And so
my
I had
gosh.
I had to even go talk to a therapist,
Me
because I was
too.
like, God, there were times I felt like I don't even want to live. If I got to go through this,
Mhm.
I'd rather not even
Mhm.
live like this.
Yep.
And it's
That's how
unfortunate
I
because
was.
especially black and brown women go through that
Mhm.
probably the most because we're
Yes.
also taught, that we shouldn't go and see counselors and we shouldn't see therapists and
Right.
I'm with Gwen, I'm a believer. I love the Lord. I live for the Lord. But I don't always want to hear well, you got to pray about it. I need to hear some real solutions, some real,
Yeah.
I
Right.
need
Yeah.
some real life.
Right.
What
Yeah.
can
Some
I
things
do to
require
handle
on
some of
time, right
this?
now action. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jacqueline says, I'm 67. I think
I
it's
tell you
over
what,
with now.
I listen. I'm so happy. It can go in remission, but menopause,
Mm-hmm.
honey, when she comes and rear her head, she gonna be with you forever. You might go in remission, but she gonna always be there with you.
It's
Yes.
going to
But
be your
yes,
friend for
like
life.
that mental health stuff was crazy, and all because
So,
my this it makes me so mad because I tried to get therapy. I tried to get. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with therapy. Now I'm still at it now, but I've tried to get back then when I was in menopause, perimenopause. I didn't even know I was trying to get therapy. I was trying to take like Paxos to help me with my mind. I was, I hid a lot of things, from people because I didn't want nobody to know how crazy I really was.
Right.
But like I said, had I known that my hormones was out of balance, you know what I mean? Now I can go to therapy and I can deal with stuff because my
Yeah.
hormones is balanced.
Right.
That's the honest to God truth.
No, I agree. And just being able to talk it out too it
So
just made a big difference.
yes, 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 it does. Yes, it does.
Janice
But it's
says,
just
besides
a
So
everything
real,
simple
else,
conversation
yeah.
so real quick,
with
I want to read
with your doctor. It should be a part of your
Mhm.
intake when you're a certain age.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I agree.
They don't ask. They ask, oh,
Mm-mm.
are you still having your menstrual cycle? When was your last menstrual cycle? I don't know, sir. that should have prompted
I know.
Mm-hmm.
additional
Mm-hmm.
questions. And he just, all right,
Right.
check it off. Let's
Exactly.
get down to the business,
Yep.
and you're out of there within
Yep.
15 or 20 minutes.
Yep.
So I agree
Yeah.
Right.
with that.
Yeah.
This may
Yeah.
be half your problem here because we need to check out your hormones and see where they're at, and so this will give you some relief. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just so much clearer now for me to go and handle things now and to deal with things
Hmm.
because I'm imbalanced. When I was out of balance, you know what I'm saying? It was craziness. It was chaotic. I couldn't listen to even a counselor talking to me, right?
Right.
Because I was chaotic in my head. So now that I'm balanced, I can have therapy and to unpack some things and know how to deal with that. It's just so important. And like I said, I'm so glad we have this so that we can get this out there so women can have relief.
Right.
Janice has some comments in the chat. One, pardon me. Wanda, do you want to read those?
Yes, I can. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So let me apologize. I'm traveling and I'm having all kinds of technical difficulties over here. I am currently in upstate New York, and my husband is driving. So I apologize. So hello to everyone that came in that I did not have the opportunity to speak to. So Janice said, besides everything else I'm dealing with, the perimenopause is getting on my nerves, especially the sweat.
Hmm. I know. I know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, her other comment was that they asked, "Well, ma'am, are you sure you're not pregnant?" She said, "Nope, I can't." Yeah, that question that one makes me angry instantly. No,
Right. Why would I be
no,
pregnant? I mean, some women get pregnant at 55, but that's not the issue here.
yeah, no.
No, true story. My mother was going through the change, and she ended
Hmm.
up getting pregnant. She was
Wow.
39
Yep.
Hmm.
when she got pregnant with my little brother.
Same
Hmm.
thing with
And
my mother, with my little brother. Same
Mm-mm.
thing.
No, ma'am.
Sure was.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
I'm thinking,
I got one more to get through high school. I tell you what, no, ma'am. Mm-mm.
But there are women that think that when they're going through menopause that they cannot get pregnant, and that is not true.
Oh, yes, you
Yeah,
can.
absolutely
Yes,
not
you
true.
can.
Yeah.
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 You better mind your P's and Q's.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
That
Yeah.
is for real. You will find yourself starting over.
Exactly.
Mm-mm. I did see something. Speaking of, um, kind of related, but not really. But I just remember I saw a post on Facebook a little while ago that it said that women in their 40s had the majority of births, like within the last year or so. I thought that was really
Yes.
interesting.
Wow.
Women
Hmm.
are having babies at an older age now because they're
Yeah.
focusing on school and careers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not unheard of anymore, really.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, especially in your bigger metropolitan cities.
Hmm.
They're a lot more focused on their careers, and
Right.
it's
Hmm.
not as taboo. It's not as many people kind
Hmm.
of like, "Girl, you too old to be pregnant." Nope, it's not
Right.
a
Nope.
You see
thing
a lot of
today.
celebrities doing that. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of celebrities have waited,
Oh yeah.
till they got
Yeah.
in their 40s to do that. So they made it look like it's okay, but I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Like I'm
I'm
here to
good.
tell you, it's not.
Yeah, I had one of my former classmates. She actually, that was her 40th birthday present. She had a daughter
Mm.
when we turned 40, and it was like, oh
Mm.
Lord, no. Yeah, and because
Mhm.
her youngest daughter is actually 2 years. yeah, 2 or 3 years older than my oldest granddaughter. So I remember her,
Mhm.
we were at a class reunion and she had her baby, and here I have a granddaughter, and it was interesting.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was her 40th birthday present.
Mhm. Mhm.
Do you
Yeah.
ladies think that it's important to have a friend group, specifically a support group of women who may be dealing with the same things?
Most definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, most definitely.
I think so
I
too.
know there's a lot of Facebook, um, but I think it is because this way people don't understand. So we're talking about it. We're having this conversation to bring it up, and that you do have options, and you're not going crazy. And sometimes you don't want to tell people your symptoms because you think somebody might judge you like I was, right? So I finally couldn't take it no more. But you don't have to suffer. You know what I mean? If you're a certain age, menopause for African American women or women of color start ten years earlier than our Caucasian counterparts, right? So sometimes perimenopause starts 35, and it goes all the way up to 55. And if you're having any of those symptoms, are not balanced.
Right. Right. And yeah, and even though women, we all go through menopause differently, having that female
Mm-hmm.
tribe or friend support makes a big difference. I have my blood
It
sisters and I have
does.
my bonus sisters. And we all, we're all around the same age. So we've all gone, through
Mm-hmm.
it or going through it. And it just makes a big difference. We can cry about it, we
Mm-hmm.
can laugh about it, we can share different secrets, whatever it is. But we just support each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I wish I had at a younger age. But because I had my
Right.
hysterectomy, so young, and when it was going through menopause,
Mm-hmm.
none of my friends, not even my sisters who are all older than me, none of them were going through it. So I was almost like out there on an island by myself. But as I got
Mm-hmm.
older, and then when I would, go through it again, and like Gwen said, it's almost like you're always menopausal. You have some type of symptoms and things like that. They just may not be as
Mm-hmm.
severe. But I
Mm-hmm.
find now with all of us being in that age group and being able to talk about it and
Mm-hmm.
share it. And one of the things that I was going to say too, Brandy, that um, one of the things that Wanda had asked was, do we think that it's important to educate the next generation on
That it
on
is.
the transition and menopause. And it really
Mm-hmm.
is important. Like I said earlier, like my mother, she didn't really talk about it, her generation didn't talk about it. And then as Gwen said, it's because they didn't know, because their mothers didn't talk about it, and back and back. And so I think that women have many times suffered through menopause in ways that they didn't really have to suffer if we just talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So if we talk to this
Right.
next generation about it, let them know that their bodies are going to undergo changes, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to do
It is.
it's okay to seek counseling. It's okay to
Yes, it is.
cry. We got to talk to them about it and educate them a
Yes.
lot better. And
Yes.
talk to our daughters and our granddaughters and other young women
Yes.
in our lives, and it will make a
Yes.
big difference for them.
It
Uh,
will.
and I'm
Life
just,
and death, to be quite
yeah,
frank.
it
Life
makes a big
and
difference.
death.
And you're right, it could be a matter
Mhm.
of life or death for someone, because if you go into a deep enough depression, who knows what you may do.
Who knows what you may do. Also,
Mhm.
they found that women that are lacking estrogen, your bone mass starts to go away.
Yes.
So your bone mass protects your brain, all of that. And they found that the women that have dementia and Alzheimer's disease, they didn't have enough estrogen in their body. Women are living longer, but they're losing their mind.
Hmm.
So you want to make
Lord.
sure that your estrogen levels are where they need to be so that it can preserve you too as well.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's a good point, Gwen. That's a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
And even from the standpoint of when you were talking about like bone loss and things like that, that was one of the things that I had to constantly have monitored with blood work
Mm-hmm.
and everything because I did have my hysterectomy at such a young
Mm-hmm.
age, and I was going through
Mm-hmm.
menopause at such a young age, and
Mm-hmm.
it really did deteriorate my bones. I mean, I've had to have double knee replacement. I
Yes.
needed to have them like in my early 40s, but I ended up
Mm-hmm.
not doing it. My doctor wouldn't do it until I got, I was in my mid 50s when I had them both done, but I was like totally bone on bone. My bone mass was I mean, it was all literally almost gone, in
Mm-hmm.
my
Mm-hmm.
knees, and it did. A lot of it had some of the effects of going through menopause and my body
Yes.
just not being
Not
able to
enough
adapt to it,
estrogen.
especially at a young age.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. We got
Yeah.
some questions in the chat.
Let's talk about smells too as well. Oh, okay.
So Senna says, to those who are married or in a relationship, how did perimenopause or menopause affect your relationship? And were you able to talk with them about it? Anyone?
Well, I can only speak from my experience. When I was married,
In
and
a relationship
as I
now.
said
Hear
earlier,
me?
it did affect my marriage. Because I got to the point to where it was
Mm-hmm.
just so painful that I didn't want to be intimate.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't. I just didn't want to even be touched. So it did affect that. I think now
Mm-hmm.
because that was that was like almost 30 years ago, and things have changed so much. And I think Gwen brought about a very good point, especially like with HRT and estrogen and things like that. There's so many different things that you can do now that will help your bodies. And I think it's more open conversation about it. But like when I went through it like 30 years ago, it just wasn't a lot of conversation. I mean,
Right.
doctors
They
used
wasn't
to really
talking
talk
about it.
about it a lot. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
someone else might have a different experience that's more recent.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the testosterone for me helped me with my sexual libido. Also, as you're dry down there too, like you said before. All of those things help. I'm not like that anymore. You know what I mean? So it is they say women in this age, they get a divorce around this time, and it's because they're lacking a lot of, they just don't want to be touched. Don't And I think the men should have this, they should understand to the changes that, you have to have a partner that understands that so they can work it out until you get to the point where you can start being intimate again.
Right. Right.
Absolutely. Um, I'm divorced, but I can say that towards the end of it, I feel like it definitely played a part, but I would say it played a part in my pardon me, in my response to a lot
Mhm.
of things that happened.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
so yeah,
Mhm.
and it wasn't until after the fact that I started to kind of put the pieces together that, oh, some of these hormonal things probably, played a part in, some of those disagreements or things of that nature. But kind of like Robin, I haven't had a hysterectomy, but I have had what's called a uterine ablation.
Hmm.
So that's basically where they scald or burn the lining of the uterus. So the lining is what is dispersed when you have your menstrual cycle. So I had that in 2018. I didn't have a cycle for about a year and a half, and then it kind of came back, and we were thinking it was kind of creeping back up to that excessive bleeding again. And then I'd say about 2021, end of 22, just completely disappeared. No menstrual cycle. And from there, those symptoms just kind of built up.
Hmm.
So we got some other stuff in the chat. Tracy says, Yeah, it's painful and irritating.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and Janice said that she wants to be a kid again. She said, Lord, it hurts starting and it hurts leaving. Exactly. Good
Right.
gracious. And then she says her husband goes with her to her appointments since he's retired and at home. And I would recommend that 100% if you are married or in, you know, a serious committed relationship. Bring that man to that appointment
Right.
so he can get some understanding and get it from a professional, you
Right.
Yeah,
know.
'cause we talked about that last week, right? Husbands,
Mm-hmm.
you know, wives, women being able to talk to their significant other, right, about what's
Mm-hmm.
going on,
Yeah.
and about the, the emotional changes, the physical changes, the
Yeah.
spiritual changes, whatever it is that they're dealing with, that they be open and honest with that, with their person, and then to have that person go to their visits with them, to speak with the doctor, to let them know that it's not just um, it's just not that person going through changes, but
Right.
they're going through the change,
Right.
right?
It is
And
Yeah.
that
so much different than
and that there's
having a menstrual
different things
cycle.
going on with their body.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Their husband can ask questions,
Right.
and they can, So real quick, hello to everyone that just came in. Please hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel. Please share out this live so this information can be given or shared with um, other women and men, right? And then, of course, hit the like button, please, please, please. And real quick, before we continue, next week we will have two doctors on, one male, one female, and he will talk about how men can support their husband or their husbands, their wives, um,
Mm-hmm.
on this journey, right? As they're changing. So, okay, I just wanted to. So you all can continue. I'm sorry.
Oh,
That
no,
was great information.
no. Yes. One more thing in the chat. Janice says that she'll, let him know why she's not feeling it, get it documented, and let the doctor explain it to him. Absolutely. I think that's wonderful. I think it really depends on where a man's base point is, where their knowledge is. There are some men who, may have had all sisters, so they have a better understanding of, you know, how women are when they're on their menstrual cycle. So that could be a baseline.
Right.
Some just are take the initiative and they're curious and they ask questions, they read. And there's some who may not have zero understanding. They could be like, oh, it's that time of the month. Peace out. I'm out of here. I'm gonna leave you alone. I'll see you. I'll see you when it's over. So I support that 100%. Yep. Take to the doctor, have them ask questions.
Oh, I agree with that 100%. And again, well, I had my hysterectomy in 1988.
Okay.
So, um, back then, like I said, a lot of the doctors really didn't talk. I mean, they didn't talk a lot openly with that, especially with younger women. And I think because I had a hysterectomy, many times I had to switch doctors. And I started going to a female, and she understood it more because it seemed like my male doctor thought that I was just like making it up. And he's like, "Well, you're too young to go into. I had a hysterectomy. No, I'm not too young to be in menopause."
Yeah.
Um, and it's like he just didn't understand that. I'm not saying that all male doctors are that way, but having my female doctor, it made a big difference. And it wasn't then my husband at the time, he finally realized I wasn't just saying no, because I wasn't in the mood. I just couldn't do it. It's like when the lady said,
Uh-oh. I think we lost Robin and Gwen.
it just hurt. Did I lose? Am I still there? Oh, there I am. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're
My
back.
phone had rang. But yeah, it just hurt no matter what. Like one of the other ladies said, it didn't matter when it was going in, coming out, whatever, it just hurt.
Yeah, yeah. Alice says it definitely helps to have a supportive husband. Yes. Janice says, I got blessed that my mom in law was a medical assistant and he saw his mom go through the change. Rest her soul. So he was aware somewhat of the changes in women. That's a blessing. I'm so sorry to hear about your mother in law passing. Yeah, it definitely helps um, when our men have had different experiences. My youngest daughter, she started her menstrual cycle this past November. And while I had been talking to her all along about what to expect when it finally happened, I had a separate conversation with my son.
Hmm.
Like, hey, this is what's going on with your sister now. So you may start to, you might start to catch a little bit of different attitude from her.
Hmm.
She's going to be enforcing, some more privacy and kind of more territorial about her stuff. And that open door policy that y'all have about going back and forth in each other's rooms, she might shut that down on you some days.
Right.
And I want you to understand why and not think, it's you, it's, you know, it's the hormones and what she's going through. So
Hmm.
yeah, I think it's really important to, if you have young men in your life, sit them down and start talking to them. Oh, you're welcome, Janice. Definitely, definitely. I don't know, Wanda, do you know if Gwen's coming back? I can't hear you. Robin, can you hear Wanda?
She probably can't because I was on mute.
No.
So Gwen will
Okay.
probably come back. I think she was having technical difficulties.
Yeah, sometimes when she was talking, it was a little choppy on my
Hmm.
end.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Oh,
real quick, I did drop the link. So if anybody wants to join us, you're more than welcome. If you have experience with Robin's gone now.
I think she
If,
froze too.
really,
Like
if
she
you
looked
can
like she
hear.
was frozen.
So if you have experience, with menopause, or if you have something you want to share, you're feel free to hit the link and come on up.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
would love to hear from you.
Well, hopefully both of those ladies will be able to hop back on. It looks like they were both kind of in transit. Um, so we want to talk about how to eat, how to move, and rest differently during menopause. And I think it was maybe Robin and Gwen both who talked about the nap. That is one thing that I definitely, uh, if I can catch a nap, oh, a nap will be had. Whether it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, hour and a half, doesn't matter. I tell you,
Right.
during
That's
daylight savings
important.
time, I was no good. That sun went down at about 5 or 5:30. Good night. I'm done. Done, done, done. Um, and that movement is definitely important. I know we talked about that strength training, and you said that little Odell had mentioned that to you
Yes.
to start lifting those weights.
Yep. Yep. He was like, "Mama,
Yeah.
you need to start lifting weights."
Mm-hmm. Welcome back, Robin.
I'm sorry about that. Something happened. It said my phone overheated. I don't know what happened.
Oh,
But I'm in the house now, so I think I'm sitting in
okay.
the car.
Yeah, what we're talking about now is how to eat, move, and rest differently, or specifically when you're going through menopause. So I said that I'm gonna take a nap any chance I get, no matter the time, whether it's a few minutes or an hour and a half.
Yeah, I do too. I take a power nap. I'll be at
Hmm.
my desk sometime, and if I'm tired, I'll take a power nap. But I've gotten to where now I've been trying to get up and go walk. And I find that my body is feeling better, and I feel like I'm getting more energy. Um, and I've been putting more protein in as well. I also drink a protein drink in the morning time, and I feel like that's giving me a lot more energy. But I was glad when I heard Wanda say that little Odell was telling her about doing weights and working out and stuff like that. And as I follow Wanda's page and stuff like that, I see um, the working out, and I said even if I can't do a lot, I'm going to do what I can, and I'm finding that it's making a big difference for me.
Hmm. Let's see. So, hey, Kennedy.
I think part of that, is because when we don't work out, we put that weight on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I know I had put on so much weight. Because I just, especially before I got my knees replaced, and then even after, I was still having a little bit of complications. Um, but in the last year, I've lost 60 pounds. And losing that 60 pounds has made such a difference in how my body feels. Um, and it's helped me even emotionally and mentally too. So, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, even if I don't go and do weights, I've been getting up from my desk and I've been going and walking. And I try to walk about 2.5 miles on my
Okay.
lunch break, and it's been making a huge difference for me.
That is that is awesome. That is
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
Let's see. Janice
So,
asked, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Kendi said walking helps her and it helps her sleep better at night, and that she's eating high protein, low carb, and high fiber.
Okay, okay.
That's what I've been doing too.
Okay, so Janice, you have the answer to your question because she said, what are your go to foods? Yep, definitely high protein. I honestly feel and felt the best when I did clean eating.
Yeah.
Uh, Limited ingredients,
Hmm.
that always helps me feel my best. No dairy, no sugar, no gluten.
Oh, I noticed that too. That if I try to watch stuff that has gluten in it, because that gluten sometimes it made me start feeling really tired, and especially
Hmm.
carbs. And I would watch like
Yeah.
some of the preparation that Wanda would do for her food, and then I would see even her talking about carbs and everything, and I did not realize. And I think even seeing a nutritionist or following people that know about nutrition makes a big difference. I didn't realize that, carbs turn to sugar. I didn't know that. I had no idea. And I mean, because I love pasta. I love rice,
Ooh, love
noodles,
pasta.
potatoes, that is stuff I love. And I found that
Hmm.
the when I take that out more, I'm not gonna say I don't do it at all, because I will do it every now and then, because if I don't do it sometime, then I'm afraid that I'll go back and do it a lot. But as I start taking those carbs out and cutting out all that sugar and everything, made a big difference for me.
Hmm. Got some congratulations in the chat from Kennedy and Alice, congratulating you on your weight loss.
Thank you.
Oh, and Janice says that
Yeah,
she fasts a lot. Yeah, that's always a good kickstart to making a change. Drink clean water and ginger ale. Don't
Hmm.
forget ginger ale. Good burners. And Kennedy says, yep, that's just clean eating. Grilled chicken thighs, two pork chops for meal prep for the week, a vegetable or a salad. Yep, done.
Yeah.
I hear that. He said we drink a lot of ginger ale, don't we? Yes.
Yeah. So Brandy is Kendi K.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I am so sorry.
She said no
Candy
worries.
K. I got you.
Yep, it's Kendi
Thank you
K.
for letting me know that. Yes, yes,
She
yes.
said
I
we drink
shall
a lot of
remember
ginger
that.
ale, don't we?
What's that?
She was responding to Janice when Janice said she drink a lot of water, just plain water and
Oh
ginger
yeah,
ale.
ginger ale.
She was
Mm-hmm.
saying yes to the ginger ale.
Yes. Love some good ginger ale. Let's see. I
So
don't
I
think it's
think
past movement. Oh, go ahead, Wanda.
I was gonna say she said yes, keep smiling. Janice said ginger ale never gets old medicine as my mom calls it.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Verner's yesterday. I hadn't had one in
And
months. I had to get me one.
Oh yeah.
It hit the spot.
It does. It always does.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. I want to try to make
DK
some
said she loves the healing
naturally.
power.
Mm-hmm. Or a good ginger shot.
So I need to
What'd you say?
have you
Oh no. Okay, now you're back. I didn't hear you.
oh, do you take ginger shots?
So I take ginger shots?
Yes, do you take ginger
Yes,
shots?
I will actually make them.
How do you do that? How do you make it?
Get ginger. I just buy the ginger root from the store.
Yep.
Of course, wash it, clean it, all of that. Chop it down. I put it in a juicer. Put a little bit of lemon in there. Sometimes I do a sprinkle of some turmeric.
Mm-hmm.
I like to add a little dash of pepper because I know that helps activate everything. And I do like the little bitty, about this size of the mason jars.
Uh-huh.
Yep, will be good to go.
Okay.
Now, that's just for immunity. There's another recipe that I have. I'll have to find it for like if you're sick and you have a cough.
Uh-huh.
Whew, that one, it will knock all that congestion out. I'll have to find that.
Yeah, you have to share that with us.
Yes, let me see if I can find that one really quick.
You know, I used to get ginger root and I would boil it and make it into a tea for my
Mm-hmm.
granddaughter when she was younger, when she first started her monthly cycle, because she would get so bad and her cramps and everything were so bad. And it really made a
Mm-hmm.
difference. It made a big difference for they subsided a little bit more, you know, as she got older. But yeah, I used
Oh.
to do that ginger root for her a lot. And I wasn't even thinking about doing that
Mm-hmm.
for myself.
Find a good little recipe.
So what do you think about so quite a few of the ladies drink ginger ale and it's not a drink that I typically drink. But what would happen if you add your ginger shot to ginger ale just to
I
make it
don't
a
know.
tad?
I mean, you might have to wait a minute to drink it. I don't know about you all, but a lot
What
of
you
times when you get that ginger ale, kind of takes your breath away a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
So I imagine I might have to give it a minute. I would like to try to make ginger ale, homemade, without all the additives and all of that.
Hmm.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, here's a good little recipe here.
So we have about 15 more minutes. Any because I don't want to keep you too long, Robin, because we definitely appreciate you taking the time out and coming to talk to us about menopause. Wait a minute, Denise got a question. Brandy, were you saying something? If so, I'm so sorry.
Oh no, I'm just getting ready to put this recipe for the ginger shots in the chat.
Oh, okay. Janice says Tabitha Brown has it. Oh, yeah, sunshine.
Yes, I
Has
have
this
that.
sunshine
I
that
have some of
contains
that.
garlic, ginger, pineapple, and mango.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I heard about that. I heard it
Yeah,
was
I
sold
bought
out
some.
at
They
one point.
I got mine at Sam's Club when I got it.
Yeah, I think they have it at Walmart and Meijer now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, Wanda, I've really enjoyed my time being on here. Thank you for asking me. And I've learned a lot as well from everyone, even with the questions in the chat. And I learned a lot from Gwen on the HRT. I'm going to keep that in mind. Or when I'm talking to other women, if they're having problems or whatever, telling them to do some research and check into that.
yes.
And Brandy gave a lot of good information as well. It's just so good to hear from different women, and that's why I love that question that you had on there. Is it important to have a girl tribe, a friend tribe, a sisterhood? I call it a
Mhm.
sisterhood, and it's so important. It makes a big difference. I think we've all learned a lot from each other today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
So,
second that.
yeah, so let me apologize again. I was having difficulties. I'm usually a little more prepared than I was today.
It's fine.
And like I said, I thought I would have made it to my destination by now, but I'm still on the road.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
all be
So
safe.
So are
before
you
we
guys
go,
in a motorhome? Are you in a motorhome?
so yeah, we're we're living the van life for a week.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So my Odell, my son, has a van
Okay.
that he converted, to like a with a stove and a bed
Really?
and a sink. Yes.
Wow.
So yeah. So I'm
Love
gonna
it.
enjoy it for the week. So we're
That's
going to
cool.
yeah, we're going to New York. We're going to my mom's house in
Right.
upstate New York, and then I'm going to New York City to a Broadway show.
What are you going to see?
Hell's Kitchen, Alicia
Oh
Keys.
yeah.
Yes. So, or Alicia Keys show. Um,
Okay.
then I'm going to Washington D.C. to the Bible Museum.
Wow.
I can't wait to hear about that.
I heard the Bible Museum is awesome.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I saw it on TikTok.
All
I
the
did
time,
too.
all the times I've been to DC and I've never been to it, but I heard that it is awesome.
Uh, okay. Yeah. So and then from there, I'm gonna do Pennsylvania, and I don't know from there.
So how many
So
weeks you guys be gone for?
so no, we're only going a week.
Wow.
We moving
Yeah,
and
only
grooving.
going a week. So I have to be back because um, I have to teach. I got to teach Sunday school.
Yeah, and Pastor Boyd does not want you gone.
Right.
Got to be
So
there.
real quick, we're gonna end with a rapid fire. The, these are questions. Is it either or? It's on emotional health and menopause. Okay, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Chat. Put your answers. You can answer the questions as well. Brandy, would you put your comments up?
I'm unable to hear you. Can you repeat that?
Yep, you broke up.
Breaking up a little bit. Mm, still breaking up on my end.
Mine too.
Okay.
Okay, I think you're
Let
back
me know
now.
if you can't hear me.
Okay, now it's good.
Okay.
Now you're moving and all that.
Okay. Put their answers when I ask the question and the chat answers. Put their answers on the screen. Robin's gonna answer the questions,
Okay,
I
so
haven't
and the
learned
chat's
how to
gonna
do
answer
that.
the questions.
you're
With
gonna
the,
ask the question.
yes,
Oh yeah, I'll just
and you
read it
gotta
in the
pick.
chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
Mhm.
What emotion surprised you the most during menopause?
I for me the I think anger. I was just angry. Yeah, I was angry. Yeah,
Angry.
anger.
Oh,
I second
okay.
that.
Okay. Brandy, you say you were angry too.
Yeah, I would second that. Janice says crying.
Okay. All right. Two. Have your moods changed or just how you responded to them?
Wait, ask that one more time.
Yep. So did your moods really change or how you responded to your moods change?
I think that my moods changed, but I think the worst thing was the way I responded to it. I just didn't know how to control it, you know? The anger, I didn't understand why I was angry either. I don't know if it was because of my body, the way it, was what it was doing, or because I didn't understand or whatever. So I would think more of my response more than having the actual emotion. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay.
I would
Brandy?
say I would say both, but largely how I responded. The more I started to learn, the more I was aware of the reason why. And now there's some things where I'm the queen of uh, not no, and I walk away, remove myself, all of that. Very much advocating for this is my safe space
Right.
and it's okay for you to not get on my nerves. So we'll just, we'll leave it there. Janice says just how I responded to them.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um, to deal with anxiety, would you rather to visit with a friend or old friend?
Say that one more time, Wanda. You broke up a little bit.
Yeah. To deal with anxiety, would you rather sit and talk with a new friend or an old friend?
Um, for me, probably an old friend. Probably because they've known me along the way, and so like my best friend, she knows me inside and out. My bestie, she knows me. She can tell even when my moods are changing. So talking to her about my anxiety, because she knows me and she knows how I can handle it, and she can help me handle it. So I would say an old friend for me.
Okay.
Same. And Janice says old friend. And Alice just joined us and she said she's never had mood swings.
Oh, wow.
And a best friend or a cousin for Janice.
Okay. Have you ever felt misunderstood during this season of menopause?
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
I got tired of hearing, "Oh, you're so grouchy."
Mm-hmm.
Or why don't you go take a nap? You act like you're tired. Well, you don't understand
Mm-hmm.
what I'm feeling right now.
Right.
Right, right.
Why are you so mad?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Janice says misunderstood. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I, I think the day that my son said, bro, why are you so mad? That's when I had to sit him down and give him, first he had to have the the menstrual cycle talk. Then we had to have the menopause talk. And he was like, oh, well, that sucks. Okay. That makes sense, but it still sucks. And I'm like, yeah, thank you for understanding. I appreciate it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Get over it. Janice says that she hears a lot of get over it.
Oh, and you wish you could get over it.
Mm-hmm. Alice say, can you repeat the question, Wanda?
Thoughts and emotions.
I think you might have broke up again.
You did.
Can you hear me? Uh-oh, she's spinning.
Yeah, she froze.
She'll be back.
Oh, yeah.
Momentary pause. There you are.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have a couple more questions. What do you
Alice
wish you
asked if
knew?
you can repeat the last question.
Okay. Um, what do you wish you knew about menopause beforehand and emotions?
Oh.
I think I would have known that my body was going to take on so many different changes that would then affect me not just physically but mentally and emotionally too. I I didn't know. No one prepared me for that. I mean, I literally went into the hospital to have surgery and I came out with a hysterectomy. So, I mean, I went in to have tumors removed that led into a whole hysterectomy. I had no clue what menopause was going to be like. I'm thinking, people go to menopause in their 50s and 60s. I'm 24. What is menopause? I didn't even know what it really was. It's like, my goodness, I've only been on my monthly cycle for
Mm-hmm.
11 or 12 years. So it's like now my whole body's just doing. So I really wish I would have known. That's why I'm glad you're doing these talks, Wanda.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say I wish I would have known more about the mental health side, the
Hmm.
anxiety, and the intensified uh, mood swings. Because like I said, there was a point where I was like, okay, what is going on? Like Gwen has said, like I cannot keep going on like this. Like
Hmm.
this doesn't feel normal, and just some guidelines ahead of time to maybe there could have been some things that I could have been focusing on in my early 30s to you know maybe not combat it, but maybe have better practices in place now that I'm here. And let's see. Janice says the side effects. Alice says, I wish I knew what hot flashes really felt like. No, ma'am, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. I
No,
mean,
you don't.
or I can tell you quickly how you can figure out. Do you have a barbecue grill? Go light it up, let the flames kick up, and then just stand over it. Just put your
Stand
head
over
in
it.
there. That'll be about the gist of it.
Yeah.
So,
I think
I
she
don't think
wanted you
I've
to
been.
repeat the question before this one, Wanda, because she says about old friend and new friend, and I didn't fully hear that one. Otherwise, I would have repeated it
Oh,
for her.
so would you rather? Hold on, let me look. Shoot.
Oh, she says now she knows. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
so okay, when you're going through anxiety, would you rather have a conversation with an old friend or a new friend?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely old friends.
Oh, Alice said she wished she knew that beforehand. You know what they feel like.
Yeah. Go to stick your head in the barbecue grill. That'll get it.
Right.
And then Alice had an old friend. Kendy K says, stack up on some sunshine seasonings. She's no longer making that. Well, McCormick, they've ended the partnership. Oh,
Oh
Oh,
no!
really? Wow.
Wow!
did not know that. Thank you, Kendy K, for that information.
I didn't know that either. Wow.
Oh wow! Hopefully somebody
So,
else picks that up.
Yeah.
so the last question, well, the second to the last. Um, how has your faith, wait, how has your faith played a part and helped you get through or journey through menopause?
Ooh, I had to do a lot of praying. Let me tell you. Seriously. I mean, there were times where, even talking with women in the church, and we were sometimes praying together. It's like, Lord, what is going on here? And if I didn't have that faith that I have, and that faith base, I think it would have really made me lose my mind. I think more from the mental aspect of it. My faith helped me more from the mental aspect of it. Even though I saw a therapist as well, it still helped me from the faith part of it as well. That makes sense.
It does, and I would say the same thing. Prayer, my church family, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
being active, in church, you
Mm-hmm.
know, being called, as Wanda says, to be a teacher of the gospel. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that that helped me tremendously because we had to be in the word. We
Right.
had assignments. We had things that we had to present. So we're both teaching every Sunday. So,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, there are some days where it was like, okay, what is really going on right now? And sometimes the scripture is just, okay, step away, read the scripture, pray on it, meditate on it, go to bed, go to
Yeah.
bed afterwards because sometimes that's all that you can do.
Right.
Let's see. Alice says, oh, I lost it. Oh, she says, my faith in God helps me know, like everything else, is only temporary and I can get through it. Yes, that is a wonderful trick of the mind to,
That is.
hey, this is only for today. Tomorrow has to come.
Yeah, that is good. I think my faith in God also helped me with my responses.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because when you start looking at, the scripture where it talks about by your fruit they shall know you. And I
Yes.
would get so angry. Sometimes the way that I would lash out and respond, I had to kind of pull that in because I didn't
Yes.
want it to be later where people thought like, well, what kind of woman of God is she?
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So
You
my
are
faith
so
helped me
right.
keep it in check a little bit.
Absolutely. Yes. That is for sure. Yep, because you got that in the back of your mind, like you said. Well, what kind of woman of God is this?
Yeah.
She got me told, as my grandma would say, up one side and down the other.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, and thank you for everybody that joined us. Again, please, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Yes, like, share. Um, we did have a lot of engagement tonight, so I definitely appreciate that and thank you. Um, if you're in the bushes hiding and did not
We
feel like
see.
coming out and speaking, I appreciate you as well. Brandy appreciates you as well. So
Yes.
Yes.
next week, um, we will have two physicians, one male, one female, who will join us. Um, Robin, you are more than welcome to come back on panel next week. I'll send you the link.
Okay.
You feel free to join us up here and be
Yes.
speaking. Um, yeah, feel free.
Awesome. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. I do have one final question. Brenda, did you have anything else?
No, this was great. Like you said, I love the engagement and the questions for our guests. Um, please tell Gwen that we missed her for the last half of this,
Yeah.
and yeah, I
I'm
appreciate
sorry, can
everyone
you do that
sharing.
again?
What's that?
What did you say?
Oh, I just said no. I enjoyed the conversation, and I said please tell Gwen that we missed her for the second half.
Yeah, I will. Sorry.
Yeah,
And then, please join us Wednesday. We'll have a young lady on who's going to
we're
food
juicing
prep and
tonight.
juice. So we'll be back Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And then one last question. Put your answers in the chat, please. What will you oh sorry. What will you intentionally do after this conversation? What will you intentionally do after this conversation?
Did you want me to answer openly?
Yes, please.
I'm going to do more research and I'm going to help educate more women. I'm going to make it a point to make sure that I help educate more women.
I would say the same. This series has prompted me to finish something that I started,
Hmm.
which is I signed up for some courses for a certification on it's kind of dealing with women's health. So they talk about fertility, menopause, um, uh, birth, life, and death doulas. So this is pushing me to dive into that, and like Robin said, educate more women as I meet them.
Hmm.
And Janice says she's gonna take a shower and go to bed. I second that. And research on the HRT.
Yes.
Okay, Alice is gonna read the ginger recipe. Yes, please let us know if you end up trying it.
So I plan to really I'm gonna continue um but go harder with lifting weights
Mm-hmm.
and like Robin and Brandy, this conversation needs to continue, right?
Hmm.
I will continue to talk about. Um, so I didn't have, I haven't that I know of. I don't know if I'm in menopause. So like you, Robin, I had a hysterectomy. I had a partial.
Okay.
So I haven't had a cycle since 2007.
Hmm.
I haven't experienced the hot flashes like Brandy described, right, over a barbecue grill. I haven't experienced that. My family will tell you I'm always cold.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know if I've experienced mood swings at the age where
Mm-hmm.
I should
Yeah.
have started. So maybe I'm one of those lucky ones. I'm about to knock on wood.
Yes, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Even with when I heard when some of the ladies say, they didn't want to be touched or they have vaginal dryness. I haven't experienced any of that.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
So again, about the knock on wood. So all right.
All righty.
Um, thank you. Again, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and we will see you next
On Wednesday.
Wednesday. We'll have a lady on talking about food prepping and juicing. And then I can also give tips for if you don't have a juicer and you want to use your blender, you can juice using your blender. And then next Wednesday or next Monday, again, we'll have positions on. We'll continue this conversation. And maybe Robin will join us.
Take
Thank you.
All
care.
right. So
All right.
we are out. So Brandy and Robin, if you just want to put um
Hey, we're gonna
your
go
mics on
on
mute, but
mute.
don't hang up.
All right, y'all. Have a good night.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you so much.